Yo, 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 what's going on? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder, and you tapped into, man, I'm excited for this interview, man. You tapped into another episode of Cut Different TV. And today is very special because we got Connecticut's own. He's been around the block, been to Atlanta. Shout out Morehouse. Shout out LA, man. He all over the map, man. My boy Lesaint in the building. What's happening?
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited.
Man.
Excited, man.
It's I'm really excited to have you on because I'm actually a fan of your work, bro. And I mean, we've heard it from Timbaland, we've heard it from all of your fans, everybody that's tapped into what you got going on. I mean, like, talk to us, man. Like, what's left, bro? Like what's happening? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the word?
I mean, shoot.
Just working on mad music, man. That's the life. That's the life of an artist. So what I want to know, man, is I want to know how it's going. Like how, you developing as an artist and being, 18 years old and, going to school, dropping out of school, focusing heavily on the music. Like, let's walk through that journey, man. Obviously, you're from Connecticut, but, tell me about, Le Shrimp. Like when you first got started fucking around.
Le Shrimp. So when I first started music, my name was my first name was Shrimpy OX, and then I upgraded to Le Shrimp. Not a crazy upgrade, but yeah, take it. But basically, we went on an interview on the radio for this Jamaican radio station, and they would not get off my ass about the Le Shrimp thing. So I had to change it up, did a whole rebrand, and yeah, we've just been building out the Lesaint brand from there.
Yeah. And that was back like when you were like 12, 13, like 2018 kind of vibe. So that was what for you, like high school, middle school?
It was, I think, 9th grade, like 8th and 9th grade.
Yeah. Word. So you do the Le Shrimp thing. They're giving you shit for it. Le Shrimp. There could be a lot of different connotations with that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get into it. But shit, so then you decide, you're like, all right, let me make the shift. You go to Lesaint, which to me is like, has staying power. It's short. It's 2 syllables. It's star power. And then you start to learn production through YouTube University.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Basically, I was just looking around, and the YouTube beats at the time were not hitting. They just weren't. I don't know what it is, but everything was like, I feel like everything was like either a Gunna type beat or a Juice WRLD type beat. And that just wasn't my vibe at the time. So, I just hopped on FL Studio. I had the crack version, just like I feel like everybody did. I had the crack version of FL Studio, and I started making my own beats. And I think the first song that I made, it was this Christmas song called Xmas. And I just remember everybody at my school, like, coming up to me the next day after I put it out. They were like, oh, that Xmas shit was crazy, da-da-da-da. And I was just like, dang, like I made the beat for that. I'm like, I'm going to have to keep doing this. Yeah. So, yeah.
And was that like DSPs or was that SoundCloud or like what was the vibe on that?
Yeah, that was DSPs.
Okay, word.
Yeah, we were using DistroKid to put it out.
Tough. Yeah. That's what's up. And so that was the first moment when you were like, all right, this is fire. And then you link up with your manager as well. And then you guys start, because at first you were kind of like being like maintaining that mystery, that anonymity, like early Weekend, early Nav, like what made you pop out?
Well, so we call it mystery, but really I just like, I don't know what it is. I just hated the idea of being on camera. Like, it wasn't even like an intentional, like, oh, I'm going to be mysterious. But it was more of a just, am I comfortable being on camera yet? But then, I don't know, I think one day I really just, like, I just looked at it. I'm like, bruh, we got to get in front of people. Like, people need to hear this. So then we just, like, and also one day I remember my boy who's my manager, I've known him since I was a baby, my boy Malik. I just remember him being like, hey, like, if you don't get on camera, like, we're going to be stuck in Connecticut, like, forever. Like, he was like, there's no other way. So, like, either you figure this out, like, figure out your qualms with being on camera, or, like, we'll just listen to your music in our room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really just about, like, I think with these, like, bigger, mysterious artists, like, even people that I love, like Playboi Carti, like Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, Kanye even, like, there's a certain level of mystery, but I think going into music, one thing that's forgotten a lot nowadays is that, like, you have to get there. Like, if you look at the Kanye documentary, like, he was literally going door to door to these people. Like, he was doing everything to get his face out there. Now he's hiding his face because he has the luxury. But I just know, like, right now, we don't have the luxury to hide the face right now. Like, people got to see us, you know? Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so that's a great point.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I love when, okay, cool. So we're going to get back to the story, but let's take a little detour right here.
Yeah.
So obviously music head, obviously well studied, obviously understand the importance of image, but I think that you just hit on a point that a lot of artists need to hear and probably hit rewind on and subscribe to the channel for.
Subscribe.
Real shit. But do you feel like a lot of times like artists overthink shit too much? And it's like, yo, like, why are you not, or you're not posting this song because you think it's not perfect, but you're comparing it to people that have been in the studio for 20 years?
Yeah, no, I see that a lot. And I see it hold, like, a lot of my, like, friends who make music, like, a lot of my peers back, like, crazy. Just that, not unrealistic expectation, because nothing's unrealistic. It's your music, you know what I mean? You can make the best shit or the worst shit in the world. But I feel like, I don't know. It's not necessary, because, like, who's checking you? You know, it's music. I think that you gotta just do the, like, wildest idea that you can think of, because that's the only, like, when you're a smaller artist, like, you only have, like, so many chances to get that, like, first listen, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think just putting out, like, not about it being, like, your best idea, just because, like, you never know, but really, like, your wildest idea. That's how I see it. Yeah.
Word. Speaking of, like, wild ideas and putting shit out, you put out a bunch of singles. That's probably the people that are tuned in right now. They probably heard What's Left.
Yeah.
A bunch of other singles as well. And then you dropped the other project, your first EP, your Are You Done project. Mm-hmm. So you were also in school. Mm-hmm. Walk me through this, like, last year and some change being Lesaint, like, and blowing up.
So this past year, so I was at Morehouse in Atlanta, just doing the music stuff there. I got to, like, work on a few, like, cool projects here, there. Got to work with people like Drake's old manager, Tez, like Cortez Bryant. He was a big help. Yeah, just got to work with a lot of cool people, but Atlanta is a very oversaturated market, and if you don't know how to navigate it, then you're, like, good as just living there as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, it's not technically as, like, easy as one would think to, like, break into that scene. So then basically one day, this guy that we were working with at the time in LA, he said he would fly me out. And I had, like, maybe $5. Maybe $5. And my boys gave me, like, a $20 bill to go to the airport so I could get some pretzels.
Wow.
But, yeah. And I just booked it to L.A. With a hope and a dream and a smile. So,
and the braids or not the braids yet?
Yeah, the braids.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Gotta do the braids, man. But, nah, it was just, like, it was one of those, like, leap of faith things. And honestly, like, the first time I went out to L.A., it wasn't nothing crazy. I'm not going to sell you guys on a dream, but I think it was necessary. You know, the first time I went out there, I was, like, sleeping on somebody's couch. The situation didn't turn out to be good. Dude turned out to be shady. But at the end of the day, I took that leap. And when I got back home to Connecticut after L.A., that was the hardest I've ever worked on music, because I proved to myself how much I care about this by, like, going to L.A. by myself, taking that leap. So I think that was, like, really, really, really pivotal in, like, what everything that's going on right now. Yeah.
Damn. And so talking about the project, the Are You Done project, that was, you sat in your room and made that over the course of, what, 7 days? You cooked that up?
Yeah, so I was at my boy's house, my boy Malik, my manager. I was at his house. And I stayed there for 7 days, like, didn't leave. We, like, barely left to eat. Like, it was just, like, one of those things. And I was like, I'm going to bang out this project. And we did it. Like, half the songs, my boy was, like, asleep on the couch while I was making them. But yeah, even that, with a smaller audience, which is like one thing I like definitely want people to hear is that like don't compare audiences, because like when that album dropped, like I remember I was in Philly when it dropped, and that morning, like when I woke up, it already had 500 streams. Now to somebody like Drake, 500 streams, like, but like if you're not comparing audiences, like that meant a lot to me. You know, like for that to be a project that we just like banged out like that, and like having that audience for that project, I think is like what like motivated me to do this second one, is just because like you shouldn't base like whether or not you have an audience for something or for like a particular idea, style, project based on like what the next man's numbers are, you know? Because I see that happening a lot. I see a lot of artists half-stepping with their brand, with their product, just because like when they look at the follow count, it's like not comparable. But it's not valid.
I always like to think about it, like especially when we first started doing content as well. It's like you might get 100 views on a video, or you might get 15 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 500 streams, like you said. But like if you go on Google and you literally type in like, yo, 500 people in a space, you're going to be like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, no, that's a lot of people. And even in a small environment, a small setting, if we had 10 people sitting in here right now watching this interview, that would be an audience, especially sitting and being engaged for a 30-minute, 40-minute interview. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people, to your point, like don't give up on yourself just because your numbers aren't there yet, or you're not able to pack out a show or an arena. Like the fact that anyone's listening should show you. Like,
and like one thing that me and my boy always talk about is like numbers add up, like eyes add up. So if you're getting 100 views on this video, 100 on the next, and you do that for 10 videos, then that's 1,000 views.
Hell yeah. That's Google 1,000 people in a room.
That's 1,000 eyes. That's 1,000 eyes that saw your thing. But you're gonna stop just because you can't because you cap at 100. You know what I mean? Like those things add up. And try playing my song 500 times in a row. That's a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just one of those things where like even your micro audience is an audience. You know, like you gotta like treat it with the same respect. You know?
Hell yeah. Bookmark this, man. Save this. Turn on post notifications. Drop comments, man. How y'all feel about what he just said? And subscribe again, too. I'm going to keep telling y'all, too. So you're dropping singles. You put out the project. And then all of a sudden you go on Timbaland's live stream. You got a song, What's Left Out, going crazy. Like, I'm not even going to try to hit the highest note in that song. But that shit is OD. And you just dropped the live performance of that. So go check that out as well. Talk to me about, you know, getting the reception that you got for What's Left and I guess meeting Timbaland.
Yeah. So basically with that, it was Malik's idea for us to go on the Timbaland live stream. I didn't really like, I'd seen clips of it, but like I wasn't really like sure what the deal was. And then one night he was like, hey, I paid for a spot. Like, you're going to be on like sometime within this hour. So we stayed, we watched, and then we get on there, and I just remember, like, at first, my hand was shaking, and I just remember saying to myself, bruh, the music's good, leave it. So then the first song starts playing, Body. We are no more than a second in. He's like, this intro is trash. I'm like, no. I was like, no, just keep listening. And then he kept listening, and he loved it. And then What's Left came on, and then he was just like, I want to sign this kid. We got to fly him out to Miami. So we ended up getting a link with his team in LA and everything, and we got to make some music with them at the Ethica studio in LA. And yeah, it was a great experience. But from the Timbaland live stream, we just got so much love, and because like they've been playing the song like while we're like off the stream. Like, they'll play it, like, at the beginning of the stream and everything. So it just got so much love that it wasn't the song that was supposed to be dropping next, but we were just like, nah, we got to.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting, like, Apple Music editorial playlisting. So like that just boosted it like crazy. Like we got on like the R&B playlist and everything, and that just like boosted it wild.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so all of the congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So shout out to your manager. Shout out Malik as well, man. That's fire.
He's working hard.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. Like he's got a star on his hands. So that moment happens, right? And like we had ISO Kenny on a while ago. He had the song Speak Up on TikTok, and that literally blew up like overnight for him. And he went from, just fucking around, making music, still taking it serious, but not having anything pop yet, to now all of a sudden, like, everybody knows this song. So with you, when that happens, you get all that reception. You've been making music for however, almost 10 years, right? A little over 10 years. Yeah. Timbaland tells you you're next up. What changes in Lesaint's life? Like, how does that feel? Like,
that's the thing. I think one thing that I always keep in mind, like that my dad always like reminded me. He always reminded me to like keep some powder dry, because like not every opportunity is golden, and because like nobody's coming to save you. So it's like after that, I think so many people in my life expected like my life to just turn up out of nowhere, but like there's a process. You know what I mean? So. After that, I can say it definitely like it felt good to like hear that from somebody whose music I respect. But I think like that was like the main thing. Like I didn't take it as anything else, because I try not to. Like I try not to think like, oh, like this is my moment. You know what I mean? I try to like stay really grounded with that kind of stuff. And just because like even in the clip, like he's like, you're so chill. Like I try to maintain that. You know what I mean? So I think after that, life didn't like fully change, but we got a lot of opportunities from that, like a lot of label opportunities. It like turned it into more of a bidding war situation rather than like people dragging their feet. Like, so it sped up processes, but my life didn't change. I think what changed is like, okay, I think everything that happens, every good thing that happens with the music, it makes it feel like just this much more feasible. So I just like got to go harder, because like I know like, okay, I must be like right near that threshold, like right before this blows. So like I just got to keep going. So I think where some people may get an opportunity like that and like be like, okay, I kick my feet up now. Like it's basically like I'm basically set. Like Timbaland fucks with me. I'm basically set. It was more just like, all right, Timbaland's fucking with this now. Like, wait till he sees. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like wait till he sees what we keep on doing.
Real shit. Yeah. I feel like as a creative too, like that's how we got to be. Like, because as soon as we get the look, or we get an opportunity, or we get somebody dope, or we get Lesaint on Cut Different TV.
Sure.
That means it's time to lock in, put the screen on the helmet down, lean down on the motorcycle, and go as fast as, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, take note, man. I mean, 18 is crazy, bro. You're wise as fuck.
Nah, I appreciate it. Because even when we worked with them, like, that was, like, genuine work. Like, we were in the studio from midnight to 6 in the morning. Like, no food. We didn't sleep at all. Like, I think what I realized, like, further and further I get into, like, the music business, is that because it is a business, like, you have to work, you know? Music is fun, it's cool, it's cute, but at the same time, like, there is, like, a genuine work ethic that has to be attached in order for this thing to, like, work out. So I try to maintain that for sure.
Word. Respect. Take notes.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you said something earlier about it's really hard to try playing my song 500 times. And I think I might have played Waffles and Tea like maybe 750. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too.
No cap. So talk to me about that song, because that's my favorite song. But also tell me about the project and what this project means to you.
So with Waffles and Tea in particular, that one's actually interesting because it was after I came back from LA. So when I went to LA, I brought like my equipment, like my studio equipment and stuff. And then when I left, I had to like leave it behind. So it had to get shipped to me. So I didn't have my mic, I didn't have my speakers, I didn't have like my audio interface, none of that. So I took my dad's like podcast mic. It's like kind of shitty, and then these like broken earbuds, and that was the song that I made, and like that it was like a really good exercise because like it felt like when I first started making music, like when I was just like laying in my bed recording it into like the like built-in microphone, you know. So that song, I've been sitting on that idea, like the chorus, for a while. You know, like I've been sitting on it since I was in LA. I remember recording the voice memo. But yeah, that song, I was just like, I gotta cook something like hard for the car. I gotta cook, like I'm big on the music in the car. Yeah. I envision all my music on like a night drive. Like that's what I want my music to sound like you're driving. Yeah. So I just had to make something hard for the car for sure.
That's tough. And you are still producing all your own shit, right?
No, not all of it. No, not all of it. I've been working with producers for sure.
Word. Who did that beat?
This guy Jay Rewind.
All right, Jay Rewind. Jay Rewind. You're the man. He's real shit.
Crazy.
As soon as you hit play on that bit, doom, 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 that shit is crazy. But anyways, man, I'm gonna stop talking about waffles and tea. But you want to know something crazy? I was born at 11:11 a.m.
Really?
Yeah. So when I saw that, when you sent it, and I was like, damn, and I saw that 11:11, that was the first track I played.
That's a fire time to be born.
Real shit. Yeah. Shout out my mom for making it. I think my mom was in the middle of giving birth to me and just looked at the time and she was like, I gotta wait. You know? Yeah, man. But or whatever they do when they're giving birth. I haven't seen it, luckily.
Yeah, man, I can't claim to know. I don't want to know.
Word. So what can we look forward to, man? What's up next for you? Obviously, you're in talks with some labels and, you know, figuring out some situations, but.
Well, what everybody could look forward to is really just more music, more visuals. We're working on a movie. It's crazy. Yeah, just more coming even stronger the next time. Next single, it's this like crazy hard rap song called Get That Money Don't Stop. And I'm very excited for people to hear that. I'm very excited for people to hear that.
Get That Money Don't Stop. Talk about that a little bit.
Hey, the song is just about like how there is like so many ways people could try to stop the motion, but you just got to keep going. You got to keep getting that money.
Yeah. It's like, what's the joint? Like, not Maze Runner. What was that shit back in the day? Do you remember Temple Run? Temple Run, like where it gets faster and faster, but you just got to be on it. And doodle jump and all that extra shit.
Yeah, it's about how like you have maybe the girl trying to stop you from getting the money. Maybe your friends is holding you back. Maybe it's an enemy holding you back, but you just got to keep going.
Yeah, for sure. That's beautiful, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on Cut Different, man. But before you get out of here, man, we got to figure out what makes Lesaint cut different.
My supporters, for sure. My supporters make me cut different because every time that I drop, I'm trying to push their taste just 1 inch. You know what I mean? If I can get somebody to listen to something that they never listened to before, then that makes me better. That makes me cut different.
Damn. Okay. No one said that before. That's dope. That's dope. For artists that are watching this right now that, you know, are maybe in high school or middle school and they're inspired by not only you have been able to, you know, put in music for this amount of time that you've been able to put in this work and develop and put out music for the amount of time that you have. They've got all these obstacles. They've got school. They've got everything going on. They need to listen to the Get the Money record, right? Obviously. But what advice would you give to them about, you know, staying focused, staying dedicated, despite what everybody else might be telling them?
I think my biggest advice would be no obstacles, because there's nothing stopping you from dropping music. There's nothing stopping you from making music. There's nothing stopping you from making that connection. I don't really see why you wouldn't just go. So I think my biggest advice would be just find a friend to do this with, or find somebody who supports you, build your support group, and just don't stop. Just don't stop.
Yeah. Don't stop, man. Keep going. Hit subscribe, man. It's the big red button beneath the video. Go ahead and subscribe, man. We got Lesaint in the building. Where can they find you if they don't already know?
You can find me on Instagram at Lesaint XO and on all platforms as Lesaint.
Yeah, it's pretty. Would you say? And what's that? It was hard enough to forget you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Real shit, man. It's gonna be hard to forget Lesaint once you tune in one time. Stay tuned for his new single dropping as well. And I mean, follow him on everything, bro. This dude is young. He's making it happen. He's grinding. It's a pleasure to host his first interview as Lesaint. And hopefully this is a timestamp in a historical run that you about to go on, man.
Oh, for sure.
Blessings, man. Thank you for joining us. And I go by the name of Sebastian Ryder. I'm here with my dog.
Lesaint.
And you just watched another episode, a very, very special episode of Cut Different TV. Until next time.